I am going to discuss on how you can file the 1701A form. This form is applicable to those who are earning purely from business income or income from profession. This is also the form used by taxpayers who chose the optional standard deduction or those who opted in for the 8% income tax rate type for the previous year. So if you would like to file for this form via Taxumo, all you have to do is to go to your tax dues tab. So it is under your current filings, under the income tax return. So here it is. So if you would like to file for this form, all you have to do is to click on File Now. This tax card shows the initial tax computation if you have records in your Taxumo account. At this moment, it is in zero value and will change if you input data in the next steps. If you do not have a subscription plan yet, you may choose one-time fee to file for your annual income tax form, or you may also choose subscribe now so you can have an account with Taxumo. Once you have clicked on File Now, you'll be led here on the pre-submission field. So the first one that you have to fill up is the operating income for the whole year. So this is the total income for the year 2021. For the net operating income for the whole year, this is the amount of operating income after all operating expenses are deducted. If you do not have any reportable net operating income for the whole year, you may just input zero. After that, you have to click on Next, so you can proceed to the next page. The next one that will be asked from you is the excess credits from the previous years. So if you filed the annual ITR for the year 2020 and the tax dues has credits or negative value, you may use these credits for the year 2021 filing. If you do not have reportable excess credits for the previous years, you may just input zero. After this, you'll be asked of your income tax payments paid since start of the year. If you have paid for the quarterly income tax filing for the period of quarters of 1 to 3, input the total amount here. If you do not have reportable income tax payments paid since start of the year 2021, input zero. So the next one that you have to fill up is the tax withheld for previous quarters. So if you have received a Form 2307 for the period of first quarter, which is January to March, second quarter, which is April to June, and third quarter, which is July to September for the year 2021, input the total amount here. If you do not have any reportable tax withheld for previous quarters, just leave it zero. So you may not edit this item in here in this pre-submission field or pre-submission page. So in order for you to add a record, so you have to go to your Withheld Tax tab, right click and click on Receive. So you do this for you to be able to submit a complete SAWT or the summary alpha list of withheld taxes, which is required by BIR as an attachment for your income tax filing. So in order for you to add a record, so if you have received a Form 2307 from your client, you have to add a record here. Just copy all the details from the form that was issued to you, but kindly ensure that you will fill it up correctly. So here, it's a requirement for you to upload a copy of the Form 2307 that was issued to you. So once you're done, kindly click on Submit. So there. Next one is the tax withheld for fourth quarter. So if you have received a Form 2307 for the period of fourth quarter, so all you have to do is to just do the same method. So in order for you to add a record, so go again to your withheld tax and to the receive tab. Okay, so if that is applicable if you have received any 2307 for the fourth quarter, but if none, kindly just leave it zero. The last one on this page is the discounts. So this is the total value of sales returns, which are refunded amount for those returned products or forfeited services, as well as the discounts given to the clients for product defect or service complaints. So if none, just leave it zero. So, so we're now here in the third page of the pre-submission field. So the first one that will be asked here is the foreign tax credits, if applicable. So if we have foreign tax credit certification for your income earned in countries that have a tax treaty in the Philippines, you may input the amount of credits here. But if none, or if you have not received any, just leave it zero. So next one is the previous payment if this is an amended return. So if you already filed the Form 1701A for the year 2021 and you need to file it again to change or add data, you may input tax due paid here. If you have no reportable previous payment, so just leave it zero. Next one is you may pay your income tax into two installments. Choose how to pay on your second installment. So this is an option for those individual taxpayers who are allowed to divide their tax due payment. They must pay a greater amount as an initial payment in April, and the remaining tax due shall be paid in October. The last one here is the overpayment option. So here are the choices. So first one is to be refunded. So the taxpayer processes this in the RDO or BIR office to get a refund. Next one is to be issued a tax credit certificate. So the taxpayer processes this in the RDO or BIR office to certify the credits that may be used in the next income tax filing. The last one here is to be carried over as a tax credit for next year or next quarter. So this states that the overpayment or credits will be used in the next income tax filing. So once you're done filling this up, kindly click on proceed. So after you're done with the pre-submission field, you'll be led here on the summary page of your tax filing. So this page will show you the name of the form, and these details came from your settings. For the particulars, so I'll explain them one by one. So tax due, this is the total amount computed of taxes to be paid for the year 2021. For the next one, less total tax credits or payments. So this is the total amount of tax credits declared in the preceding steps. For the tax payable or overpayment, this is the total amount of tax payable or overpayment declared in the preceding steps. For the less portion of tax payable allowed for second installment to be paid on or before October 15, so this is the percentage chosen as the second installment to be paid in October. The next one is amount of tax payable or overpayment. So this is the amount of tax to be paid for the filing. If the amount is greater than zero, then that is the actual amount of tax to be paid. If the value is zero, you do not have to pay anything after filing. And lastly, if the amount has a negative sign, this is an overpayment which is refundable, or it may be used as credits in the next income tax filing. So the last one here is aggregate amount payable or overpayment. So this is the accumulated amount of tax to be paid for this filing. If the amount is greater than zero, then that is the actual amount to be paid. If the value is zero, you do not have to pay anything after filing. And lastly, if the amount has a negative sign, this is an overpayment which is refundable, or it may be used as credits in the next income tax filing. So lastly, you will be asked of how would you like to file via Taxumo. So we have three options for you. We have prepare only, prepare and file, and prepare, file, and pay. So prepare only is Taxumo will fill out the draft of the tax form for you, but you'll be the one to file it via BIR. So this has no total computation of categories and tax dues. For prepare and file, so Taxumo will compute and file your tax form to BIR. So if you have anything to pay with BIR, you have to directly process it with them via their accredited tax payment channels. Lastly is prepare and file. So Taxumo will compute and file your tax form to BIR as well as the processing of your tax payment with our payment channels.